First panelist is Dr. Heywood Sanders. He is a professor of public administration at the University of Texas in San Antonio. He has a bachelor's degree from Johns Hopkins University and a PhD from Harvard University. Dr. Sanders has previously taught at Brown University, the University of Illinois, and Trinity University in San Antonio. He has also worked for the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development and has been a visiting fellow at the Brookings Institution. His publications include the edited volumes, The Politics of Urban Development and Urban Texas Politics and Development, as well as numerous articles on urban politics and policy, including Space Available, The Reality of Convention Centers as Economic Development Strategy, which was published by the Brookings Institution in 2005. He is currently completing a book on the promises, reality, and politics of convention center development.
Thank you, Pat. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to hide behind my laptop, so if you'll excuse me, it's a pleasure to join you here in Nashville today. What I'd like to try and do, is take you through a little bit of the nature of the convention center market that we face today and some of the circumstances that are particularly relevant to Nashville's quest. I'll have to apologize in advance. The bulk of these slides actually come out of a variety of documents, and so you may see some things in which the typeface is a little small. That's because you're just seeing them exactly as they were printed and published. And with that, let's go ahead. Butch's professional organization, the Destination Marketing Association, and the Professional Organization of Assembly Managers commissioned a special study on convention center sales and operation. This is the study that came out in August of 2007. And this is how they describe the convention center market environment in 2007. That is prior to much of the uncertainty and peculiarity of the present economic downturn. I've highlighted what I felt was particularly relevant: the supply of available exhibit and meeting space exceeding demand, resulting in a buyer's market, and in this competitive buyer's market, a need to discount rental rates or increase services that can provide a competitive advantage. The sources of this buyer's market, this space glut, if you will, are actually pretty clear. Cities have been on a convention center development boom in recent years. In fact, since 1999, the stock of convention center exhibit hall space in the country has increased by about 36%. At the same time, the number of convention and trade show events has been effectively flat. And indeed, attendance is these days, and was in 06 and 07 as well, prior to the current downturn, actually below the levels of the mid and late 1990s. The result has been incredible pressure on cities to try and perform with a whole variety of incentive offers. This is one from Cincinnati, their stimulus package, if you will. On the right, I think you can see, depending upon the number of hotel room nights a group consumes. By the way, is this visible in the back reasonably, folks? Okay. You'll get cash back, and if you have a sufficiently sized event, you get complimentary rental of Cincinnati's Duke Energy Convention Center. Here, the latest offer from the District of Columbia, in honor of our nation's president, the 44 Power Savings Special, including 44% off your convention center rental, 44 meals up to $44 each, a free drawing for a classic photo of Washington, and a 44-minute reception. The reality of the convention center marketplace is just this, okay? And it's the same reality we see when the car dealers have too many cars on the lot and the department stores have merchandise that's not moving. There's a sale. And that sale environment increasingly means centers are offering deals. That has a variety of implications. In part, it means events are going to where the deals are. And much of the meeting planner's behavior is becoming increasingly peculiar and in lots of ways uncertain as a result. What I'd like to do is show you a little bit about what that means for some particular convention centers. And I've just picked on two. We can do a great many more. This is one I'm particularly familiar with. This is the center that Boston just opened a few years ago, the new Boston Convention and Exhibition Center. This is the technical appendix we'll take a look at in a moment from the consultant study for the BCEC. I just want to mention this study was done by Charles Johnson together with Dave O'Neill of Conventional Wisdom Incorporated. Those are the consultants currently working with the Metro government on the current convention center and convention center headquarters hotel development. And this is what Charlie estimated in terms of the performance of the center right at opening in about 2010 and then in 2012. And I want to bring your attention to two things here in particular. The line there under attendance for conventions and trade shows. Because what we're interested in is not the kinds of meeting and banquet and social events that can often fill a center, but fill it with local folks. We're interested in the conventions and trade show events that are going to bring people some distance, keep them overnight in area hotels, keep them spending money. And so the translation here is into what CVB folks call heads and beds. Hotel room nights actually generated. And you can see here that Charlie estimated that the Boston Center would quite quickly ramp up to 675,000 annual room nights and then reach a steady level of performance of about 794,000 room nights for a little over 500,000 convention and trade show attendees. Okay? So that's the forecast. How'd he do? Well, they fell a little short. Those bullseyes events are the real convention and trade show events. They produce most of the hotel room nights. But we can just go down to the bottom and look at the hotel room night totals. We're doing about half of what Charlie estimated that Boston would do. That's not surprising. That's pretty common. Indeed, if you take a look at the difference between the fiscal 08, which is the last half of 07 and the beginning of 08, and then of all of calendar 08, you can see where the tendency is, and it's going down. And we want to talk a little bit as we move ahead about the current environment. But for right now, I want to focus us on pre-downturn.